What's up guys, Cyber Houdini here and welcome on into Dreams of Another. This is a brand new indie game that came out. It is from Q Games, who made all the PixelJunk games. Have you ever played some of those? The pixel shooter game? Really cool. As you can see, this is something very special. It is like a surreal dream brought to life. It looks gorgeous. So you've got this guy walking around in his dream. It's all done with voxels. And then yeah, he's like shooting things into reality. Kind of wild, right? Dreams of Another. Have a look into it. If you're into games like me and you want to like check out something very different, then why not give it a shot, you know? Now I have to preface this, of course, you know, full disclosure, I got a code for this for review, so thanks to Pyro PR for that. Like, look at this, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these. It's done by legendary creator Baiyon, and it's kind of like you can see how people are creatives and they can actually visualize things and then turn them into a video game. It's wild, you know. When you think of all the AAA kind of slop out there, that's just the same old, then you see something like this. Gorgeous. This is the side of like PlayStation that I remember. The strange and unusual and beautiful, you know, back in the day with like the Unfinished Swan and things like that, you know, just gorgeous. That's kind of the game that comes to mind for sure. How's it going, DPG and Yuki? Hello, welcome on into the building. It's like Limbo but 3D, yeah, something like that, right? Look at the dude in his pajamas. Like, I want to know, how did that happen? Like, we all have, I suppose, some strange dreams, but this guy, God bless him, he seems to it's like those dreams of people like you know, showing up to school or doing a presentation in the nip, no clothes on. It's like, oh my god. So yeah, I thought this would be nice. Hell yes. I like when I see a game like this, I'm like, that is unusual and it's right up my alley. And we also have a little bit of Ghost of Yote today. I finally got my copy. It's good. So it's a bit of a PlayStation day, which I don't often do. No creation without destruction, because destruction is by no means an end, but a beginning of something beyond. Ooh, I like that. I like that. It's true. All human life is finite, and that is why you feel an explosion of life when something is destroyed. Oh my. It's like the Big Bang Theory, isn't it? There are different kinds of dreams that we have in the midst of this finite life. The dreams we have while sleeping, and the dreams of the future we envision. In these dreams we repeatedly destroy and create. Cool. Yeah, some people believe that dreams can be prophetic. In other news, we typically forget or fix our memories. It is in this ethereal life that we find hope. Cool. Sometimes we have very lucid dreams. That's when you kind of know you're in the dream and you're able to walk around, and then you'll have dreams that you'll remember. It's good to have a dream journal, right? This one's called Dreams of Another. Now, it's also in VR as well, which is cool. I'm starting to see very small little trickles of this happening where we're having games that are both coming out for VR and console as well at the same time. Like, it's not an easy task, for sure. Very nice. Look how beautiful. Beautiful. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for those subs as well. It's really nice of you, Yuki. You don't have to do that. Oh, how's it going as usual? What you been playing yourself? Alright. Let's get into this.
There shouldn't be any enemy soldiers left around.
I didn't think there'd be voice acting and stuff. Cool.
So
Dylan Cooper.
This
Nice. I like games that just start. Like you saw, I started that from the menu. I didn't even press new game or anything like that. I love that.
I'm almost out of ammo though.
Interesting with the shooting part of it. So you can see it's all done like very abstract with the voxels. You can see them made up of like tiny little cubes. I played an art exhibit game, if you want to call it. It was in an anniversary for Radiohead's Kid A and Insomniac, and it just shows that this really is an art form. All of this gaming and stuff, you know, it can be used to do so much more. Are you getting Nicki Minaj skins? Sure, but on the other side of things, it is pure art. I love that they still have the chance to make these kind of things. It's pure expressionism. Destroying in part and creating. Yeah, playing Wolfenstein Steam Deck on hard difficulty. Ooh, get it! Oh, look at this. So we start off, everything's kind of colorless, isn't it? Some kind of like little war dream. Alright, talk log, okay. Let's have a look at us. We probably have some audio stuff in here. Let's turn the voices up because I could already tell it's like, huh? I feel like I'm getting old, but I swear I'm not. It's just games are crazy low and stuff. Okay, that should be a bit more easier. We'll definitely leave the music up because I would assume that that's something they're really going for. Look at the little footsteps and everything. Alright, now tell me twice. Lovely jubbly. So we finished Little Nightmares 3 yesterday. It was pretty fun, you know, like I don't want to fully judge it until the DLC comes out, but yeah. So every time we shoot here, we're going to be like creating things instead of destroying. It's an ambush. God of War PS3 collections on the way. Nice, nice. Good stuff. Help is on the way, dearie. But yeah, I've been trying to get better at putting the links for these games into the chat and stuff, so if you'd like to give it a shot, why not? He can't shoot, he's like, what? Yeah, he just can't do it. Oh, dog. He's having performance anxiety. He's like one of the objective... I can't never remember the name, but it's basically people who get into war, but they refuse to get into combat. You end up becoming like desk jockeys and medics and stuff like that. Alright. Go, go, go. My boss, he still won't shoot. I won't do it.
Crap. I'm out of ammo.
He's out of ammo. This guy won't shoot. Look at the walls. Look at everything. It's beautiful. Isn't it very interesting how the brain and the mind interprets things as well? Like it's the same with most words. If you have most of the letters or the starting and end letter, your brain will actually jumble it around to make the word. And the same goes for like art as well. Like have you ever seen numbers inside of different colors, or you see like in the negatives as well, the negative light, not like the positive negative, the light. Or sometimes they'd be like, stare at this picture, then look away, and you'll see kind of the outline of a different picture. I like that stuff. People like, when they see that, they see an art opportunity or a creative opportunity. It's really cool. It rain, nice, nice, yeah. Good. It's slowly turned into fall. Still kind of unusually mild. Alright, we gotta stay hidden. Do it!
You got it?
Yeah, I love a game that just has no problem just like jumping straight into it. That's why sometimes I think if it's like a Steam game, I tend to just get to the starting screen so I can make sure it runs okay, you know? A lot of kind of story-driven games will be like, nope, there is no start screen, we will just put you straight into it.
Unable to do anything but
you can even hear the music, the notes, or everything is all kind of off-putting. And there's something very wrong with this nightmare.
I thought I'd find an inconspicuous spot for the time being. And hide for dear life.
This could be an old past life or something. Maybe he falls asleep. Just see what else we can do. Beep, beep, beep. Boop, boop, boop. Right. I think that's as fast as he goes. I press the other buttons. That's all she does. So in this case, everything is made up of these voxel cubes, but they all have enough of an outline where you can like make out faces and make out the world, and everything feels like it's in flux. Very much like a dream. That's where the surreal things come from. You know, there's the real reality and then the surreal. That's kind of surrealism is a beautiful art form, and it's basically exactly as you can imagine it. It's based on what people interpret dreams into art, and it's very unusual. Like for some people, it can be off-putting. He knows we've no ammo. Should we kill him? He won't do it. He's gonna see you, man.
Are you too scared to fight me?
Come on, man. Throw down your weapons. We've had a couple of these kind of stories of soldiers meeting each other on the battlefield, neither wanting to die. Uh-oh. Do it!
Oi, what's wrong with you?
Oi!
Not even brave enough to fire a gun?
Even the way the voice acting is, it's very dreamy. Post-war sadness like games on Dubai, is it? Don't do it! Stay back! He won't shoot.
3.
No.
2, 1.
No.
Let this be a lesson. People with no resolve will never amount to anything. Action is necessary to protect something. We have to make sacrifices in order to move forward.
That's a lot of lessons.
Don't you dare think you're the only one who feels conflicted.
Right. He's gonna do it. Damn, he did do it. We don't even know what's real and what's not. Yeah, trying to interpret dreams is very difficult because it can just be literally what you ate that day. Oh, there we go. Start and options. That's cool. It could be like what you went through. You know, it could be anything. It just literally can be just blood moving through your brain, which then pushes your subconscious around your thoughts while you're asleep. You know, so it can mean anything. You know, I think all of us at one time or another have had very similar dreams where your teeth are falling out or you're flying. People have the flying dreams, and they can mean anything. You know, there's whole people and psychologists that try and break this stuff down, and that kind of stuff can be a bit dangerous because you're kind of swaying people's thoughts. You know, it's not always as easy to interpret like that. It really can just be brain synapses going off while you're asleep. I like to think about that kind of stuff, even if it's some kind of a realm. All right, here we go. This is kind of what we've seen more from the trailer. Now we got these almost like out of focus. If you've ever like had water on a lens, or if you're looking out a car window and the rain is on the windscreen, it makes everything look like this. Beautiful. Look at this. Look at these little gemmy gems. Well, good for you. All right. That's really the only button we have. Sorry, I know I pressed a lot of things.
Get up here.
Is he going to the stairway to heaven? I just have the talk. Alright. Look at this. And so we're going to literally shoot the way through. Isn't that mad? It's so cool. See, the power to destroy or to create. It's so cool. Yeah, these guys make beautiful things.
The top of the stairs. Hurry up.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still pressing buttons to try and see do I have any sprint or anything. You will have nothing and you will like it. Okay, so it's almost like... Whoa, is that the soldier from before? It almost like, not just creates, it like absorbs the bubbles into it, the voxels. It's really cool, and then condenses them into an object, a piece of art. That's really cool. I wonder how they created that. You think they exploded it from a pixel side of stuff and then rewind it when you shoot it? I don't know. It has to react to the bullets, right? That's so cool. Yes, Salvador Dali, exactly. Oh, there you go. You can see. I knew you were a smart person. That's a fantastic callback right there. Hell yes. That's exactly like the father, right? There you go. Okay, nice. Once Streamlabs is doing its thing, just want to try and do my best for these for all devs. Well, the AAA ones can look after themselves, I think. I know that sounds a bit whatever, but it's not as if they're shouting out indies, are they? So a lot of these games from you know, Q games, they sort of became synonymous with PlayStation for a good while there.
It's like, who am I?
Because at a time where PlayStation was sort of suffering during the PS3 era, they decided to get quite indie and experimental. And let me tell you, those were what I consider some of the best times for PlayStation. Things were so unusual.
By the way,
and I love it.
really can't believe
You get to see the inside creativity of people's minds from halfway across the world. What experiences they had in life shaped how their creativity is poured out onto the page, onto the canvas, and onto the digital frontier with gaming, you know. It's really cool. And then all that hard work, blood, sweat and tears, goes on to PSN or wherever it is, or goes onto a disc, and it finds its way all the way to a tiny little Irish teenager, and he just kind of gets blown away. It's really cool.
I'm totally useless. I don't have the courage to hurt anything.
I'd not.
And
It
in the
does
end,
take courage
my
not to
sergeant
kill,
gave
you
me a
know?
rifle and 1 bullet, telling me to think carefully about when and what I want to use it for.
Jesus.
But you know, I have no idea. For the time being, I'm wandering at a loss. So feel free to call me Wandering Soldier.
The Wandering Soldier,
With you
okay.
barefoot and in pajamas. You're wandering too, I take it?
I'm barefoot in pajamas. That's me. Isn't it interesting how the voxels, they don't create any discerning
Or
shapes?
something.
You know, you have no outlines,
Well, I'm
not even like
entirely
cell
sure
shaded or
where we
whatever,
are
but
right
it
now
still
either.
creates the shapes inside of all
Let's use your
the
power
little
to keep going
squares and
and
circles.
find out.
It's very nice. There's something very soothing about it. It probably gets in touch with some of our old baby memories, you know? All the little blurs and lights and everything. I think so. I genuinely think that it's all part of that. There's certain things, even as a grown adult, that will resonate with you, whether it's like white noise or a certain sound or music or a noise that or a moan or anything like that. Something that people make that it just kind of sends you back. You don't even know why. You don't even remember. It's almost like a past life, you know. It's very interesting. It's like, have you ever seen like some of these really old cats, and a person will get a toothbrush and they'll start brushing between their eyes, you know, just on the bridge of their nose, and the cat will be like, it'll just completely calm down. Some cats even have tears in their eyes because it's like a very old memory of when their mother would clean them there, you know. Progression of abstraction. I like that. That's one of the names of it. Okay. So abstraction in itself is almost something that's unformable and untamable, you know. The whole concept of it is that it shouldn't be easily described or attainable. It's abstract in itself. Even us as humans, we have an act for, we always will, we'll have an act for trying to make sense of things, you know. And there's forces in the universe that, a lighter that's been carefully used, that will not be, you know, it's like almost against everything that we are, no matter what we do. We can push and push into it, but there are forces out there that, what is aura liquid? We will never be able to talk to a gate. There's someone behind the gate. Humans will never be able to understand. Look at this little kid here. Is that meant to be aura? Step on us too much. A total disaster. That's why I turned down the sound effects. I'm like, I'm gonna be shooting a lot. As wild as it is, this SMG is now our paintbrush, and everything we shoot is our canvas. Very unique way to approach a game, right? To me, these are pieces of art, 100%. But I feel like people had so much more time. Is that what the aura liquid is? Okay. It's so much more time for these kind of games. Like, I used to talk to people, even back in the PS Vita days, you know? They were like, well, they weren't getting much else, and people weren't taking PlayStation seriously. And they would play all these games. I just don't think they do as much. A brooch. Nice. Deserving more viewers, man. Transfer knowledge and humblest gaming so important for younger gen. Yeah, exactly, right? I'm good. I always say, like, if the day ever came and you just did randomly go viral and explode or something, I think you'd end up losing a lot of that, as you said, humbleness, and you'd lose a lot of just the homeliness, you know. I want to create safe spaces. I mean, it's nice, those big streamers out there, obviously, but you do feel like a drop in the ocean. Like, I talk to some people who watch some of the bigger streamers. I you know, almost, you know, ask them very nonchalantly, what is it? Like, what is it? To them, some of them just like to lurk. They won't even chat. They'll just lurk. Doors exist to open. That's a hell of a question to close. What makes a door a door? Sound about the tree. This is cool. It's kind of creepy little voices. So yeah, it's interesting. So I think people just like to be a part, feel like they're a part of something, even if they're just lurking. So then when these big streamers have their moments, you're kind of like, I was there, you know? That's kind of one of the little Twitch things, isn't it? It's like, I was here. So I understand that, I do. I think, like, for me, I always said, if I had, like, you know, the end goal, if it was like 100 people just hanging out chatting, I think that's a fairly manageable number. You know, you could have your Discord and your friendships and all that, and that works. I think once it gets bigger than that, like we used to have a fairly like streaming community of about 50. Even that was pretty rough because people would have up days and down days and take it out, and then there'd be, you know, a lot of stuff with, you know how it is with communities as well, like half of them try and get with the other half as well, and that always kind of complicates things. Doesn't matter how old we get, we'll always be these horny, hormonal little teenagers, and that's just life, you know. But it cracks me up. So you see that kind of stuff. The whole of life feels like one giant social experiment. I like that side of it. You know, it can get frustrating at times, and things don't always work out. This is the abstract they're talking about. It's abstract thinking. But it's also like, some of this is philosophical as well. It's cool. No, I love chatting. You guys bring loads to the conversations. Well, I appreciate that so much, you know. I try not to make any of this stuff about monetary, because I feel like it creates expectations on both sides. It's like you're expected to pay or sub or whatever, and then I'm expected to provide something or something. You know, like I don't want to do all that. That's a side of streaming that it gets a little bit meshy. The fact that you guys just come in and give me some of your time, that's more than I ever could ask for. So pretty this is. Even all the colors as well. Almost looks like Christmas lights. I don't want to shoot this little guy. Maybe I have to. Bruce, let's talk to him. It's like an inner child, is he?
Hey, can I tell you something?
But yeah, when I see these kind of games, it just like sets off alarm bells, you know.
Why do they still talk to each other? If they didn't talk from the beginning, they wouldn't be arguing. Actually, we're moving soon.
Yeah, I think this is his little... Now, normally dreams won't necessarily be like this. Might be a mix of memories, but if you're going through some kind of trauma, it's probably because you're going through it. But, yeah. I like talking to people about their dreams and stuff, because you'd be surprised how much we share in similarities like that. Nice!
On the part that faces outside?
Doors. They always say like the windows to the soul and things like that, don't they? The eyes. Everything we say about the body, we try and pertain to real things in real life. I wonder how you kind of go from scenario to scenario. You just have to like fill in the world, do you? It's really well done, isn't it? I see a lot of great voxel-based games. They're very unusual. It is the future. There's no doubt about it. It's just cube-based pixels, but being able to manipulate them and move them, you can see. Lost aura. Come back here. Should I shoot it? Yep. Okay. Whoa. Cool. Keep shooting it. Ba-ba-boom. Ba-ba-boom. Definitely an unusual way to tell a story. It even reacts to his pajamas. You see that? So yeah, it was pretty random. Then we had that like Matrix thing as well, which was to show off Unreal Engine. They didn't turn it into a game. But yeah, there was like an art exhibit for Radiohead's albums. And that was really cool. It was a visual tour of both of those classic albums, and it was quite special, even if it wasn't a game, you know. And it showed that we are slowly moving in the right direction with games media, you know. I love just a good old classic. Yeah, I even liked going back to the old 2.5D arcade, you know, twin stick shooters and things like that.
What do you
And we can have that, and then you can have huge narrative, incredible games like Naughty Dog game or something. And you can have something like this, gorgeous. It doesn't actually even have to have a message, you know. I know a lot of artistic games and story-driven games have a message, and they hammer it home sometimes, not always very subtly either, you know. I think subtlety is a dying art. You know, you want to talk about art dying? Subtlety is a dying art. Subtlety is being able to speak on something and show something, express something without it being in your face, you know. And I think as modern times has gone on, and you know how open we've come about our society's problems, and then thus start creating internal problems, and then our own personality and social problems as well, that we end up either being screaming in your face with no social cues, you know, and then you've got the whole spectrum that is opened up as well, which is on the different side of stuff. That's where people genuinely can't help it. But on the side of the sociopaths and the streaming and the clout chasing and all that, that's yeah, it's very, very different. That's a notable effort without self-awareness to become that kind of a loud, obnoxious person, and nothing good ever comes of that. You know, it's you're burning like a firework. You'll explode, make a mark, but you're gone forever, you know. And that's why the subtlety is dead. And for me, the subtlety I see that gets lost is in art, really, you know, in writing. Oh my God, it's some of the worst. I can't stand most modern media in terms of, you know, movies and writing in games. A lot can be very rough. It has to be said, you know. And even in music, you know, we get to this point where people, you feel like the generation is lost or dumb. They're just like, why are they behaving like this on purpose? And it's not. It can't be like that. I think we are kind of what we eat, and we are what we consume in terms of media. So if it's been served up very in your face, very unself-aware, very self-serving, then that's all you're going to kind of give back. It's a tough one. It really is. Like things like that I kind of struggle with, and then I have to remove myself from thinking of these things, because I'm like, you know, you can't fix the world. You can't, you know. And if you think about it too much, you just get lost in your own kind of sauce. Like Jesus. But the rate at which things are changing is wild, you know. I think a lot of the time we forget about those moments and those things that we love, because we are being distracted by world events and horrible politics. And even right now, like, everyone's moaning about these streamers and what they're doing. And it's like, you're missing the bigger picture here, you know. Get them offline. And what's funny is these guys, they think they're unstoppable, untouchable, and it's always the smallest things that get them. Like, you know, if you had told me that Hasanabe was finally going to be done in by his own dog, I would have laughed at you. I thought he would have been challenged politically and it would have went horribly wrong or something, but no. It just goes to show that no one gives a really crap about any of this stuff coming out of his mouth. The sad thing is, as usual, they're getting, you know, pulled aside and caught out for things that everybody's doing. Like, you're telling me, you realize that, like, shock collars were a thing? Like, that whole moment of the dog whisperer and Caesar and all that, a lot of that was, like, bad ways of training your dog as well, you know? But people listen to him like gospel. I know he probably didn't advocate for shock collars, but he was doing humiliation training. I don't think that works either. Animals are we're close neighbors, you know, close relatives, so it is a respect thing as well. Alright, is there more? Like, this must be him getting told off by his mother.
We're moving soon, so I'm telling you to pack up your stuff.
I don't want to go home because you guys keep fighting.
Classic
I
case.
don't want to move in the first place.
The parents move, the child hates it here, they're fighting.
Wandering off and never coming home.
Look how beautiful it is. It's always in motion. The entire world is in flux.
That you always play with, that you're moving
You feel like you're on a cloud or something. Yeah, about concept game environment. Yeah, exactly. This is a VR game as well. It's a good question though. Like, how does it work in VR? Would it be third person? I've been playing some other games and they have gone from VR to controller, and you're like, how the hell would this have worked? But some VR games, it can still be third person and that, you know. What it works with is it sort of creates a stage, you know, and then you play the game on that stage through VR, but like a normal game. I've seen them. It's kind of like how you do some movies as well. But you know, then they'll give you usually first person options and things like that, you know. It's a bit of both. This is very pretty. It's already bringing up good conversation. I love that. That's great. Even if it just gets the old mind soup going. That's what I like to call it. Mind soup. Your old brain synapses. Like, I am no big knowledge on anything. Trust me. It's mainly just off the cuff. And I could be absolutely wrong on a lot of things. And beware of that. Because I never want to be the last stop. Or the all knowledge on anything. Because it doesn't work like that. We're meant to keep learning, right? Well into our 70s and 80s and all the way to the end of our lives. Just always be learning. If you're open to that, then life will be great. It'll feel like the best meal of your life, but it's your life. When people stop learning and they shut themselves off, they become closed-minded and they become hateful. And that's what we see now. You see countries literally torn apart by that kind of closed-minded hatefulness.
Is the me you see right now the real me?
That's kind of a nod to the Tinker, is it? You think? You know that sculpture?
Is there even a need to prove it in the first place?
Is the me? God, I would hate to have an existential crisis in my dreams. That'd be scary. I don't think I'd be able to get out of it, you know? Meow.
I am bound by circumstance to divide. Try to correctly perceive me.
It seems like a puzzle, isn't it? Whoa, look at that. RGB. The original red, blue, green. RGB. Red, green, blue. Wow, wow. It's like divide and perceive me. Whoa, look at that. So the more you move around, they move around as well. So we use, it's kind of a lot of in pictures, you know, and in film. But even though, like, the grand scheme of colors are made up of an infinite amount of colors, we kind of boiled it all down to, you know, red, green, and blue. And it became most of our signal, a very, very simple signal, even when it comes to TV and that, and just pictures and film. Alright, so I think we should bring them all together. Well, I love the music. I love music that makes you feel like it's tickling your brain. Wow, wow. Kind of experimental. Oh, there I go.
When you come to think you've correctly perceived, assume that a pitfall lies beneath you.
No, I don't like that way of thinking.
Perhaps capturing beauty is like letting yourself fall into a pit.
You don't want to think that you're about to fall through a hole. That's kind of a pessimistic way of looking at things, where it's like something bad's probably going to happen. I call it the Eeyore effect from Winnie the Pooh. It's Eeyoring. You know Eeyore, he's very pessimistic and he never looks on the bright side of anything. But his friends try to cheer him up. I find people fall into that hole where you get a chip on your shoulder, a few bad things happen to you, and it can be tough. Like, life has a way of being, or the universe, whichever way you want to look at it, it has a way of knocking you down, and then when you think you can't go any lower, you will find a way, and that hurts. But if you can get yourself past that, if you can outlive that, the strength you will know afterwards will be just infinite, you know, infinite. It's all just a journey, even through the bad stuff. I always try and help people and say, it's a very simple thing to say, but a hard thing to live, where it's like, you can't have the good feelings and the good times without going through the bad stuff, because then you'll know how good the good things are. If you have a life of ignorance is bliss, where it's all just good, when eventually something bad comes along, you have absolutely no coping skills, you have no experience with this thing, and it ends up destroying you. You know, I've seen people living off their parents, or they're having a happy little rich life, and and then something happens, maybe a collapse, or they lose their money or whatever in their 30s or 40s, and they're just completely, they have no tools whatsoever, no social skills, no nothing. What the hell is that? Is it gonna kill me? So yeah, it's interesting. So as much as it's hard out in the world, and money to a point can make things a little bit easier, but it is the root of most evil as well. Sometimes going through that, like the most interesting people you'll ever meet in this life is those of like what people perceive to be a lower or middle class that are just surviving kind of on the cusp of things, because they've been through challenges and they've been through triumphs, and they will educate you on so many things, you know. They'll have stories to tell. But the average rich person, they'll tell you about a party or two or what celebrity they've met. And then those stories fall off. They're boring. You know, how many times can you hear about someone going on holiday with their fancy little yacht or playing fucking badminton and polo or something with all their friends? Boring. You go and sit to someone who's been through some wild stuff in their life. And you'll see it in their face. I think every little town has a storyteller or two, right? Men and women. Come here, you. I'm trying to kind of gauge what architectural style this stuff even is. It has a sort of a, I don't know, it's like Swedish or Greek or something. Kind of pretty. Yeah, it's kind of, this is a nice little short experience. It's just thought-provoking. I like the, it's even doing a little bit of the good old classic, the dissonance, right? That narrative dissonance where it's trying to tell us in abstract and tell us about this person's life, possibly. And then you're like going around shooting things, you know? So there's that sort of, as it said, destruction and violence, and also creating things. Even if it's creating a mesh, it's trying to make sense in the violence. This guy is shooting around. It could be just from past war experience, and playing a video game of his own.
That said, it doesn't seem like there are any jobs I could switch to.
Now he's like getting older now, isn't he?
Something looks like a human doesn't necessarily mean it talks like one.
It doesn't talk like a human.
Oops, a slip of the tongue there.
What are we, it's an aliens? Or is that a nod to how some people behave? You lose the human side of us. Interesting, whenever I reveal something, you walk over to it, you see? Near us benches. It's like the object talks.
Sit down to eat their sandwiches and such.
Yeah?
Stuff tends to spill out.
Oh. Is the bench eating our leftovers?
Always diligently bringing that stuff to their nests.
That's definitely a lovely kind of weird dream thing. As if objects were all sentient and were telling us about our lives. I like that. That's just weird enough for me.
Door that's a little older and makes a nice squeaky sound.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love a good squeaky door?
Isn't it cooler than new?
Yes. See this box has to say. Say anything, Mr. Box? No, boxes aren't allowed to speak, dumbass.
To a regular house door like me, a door on a vehicle is something
The
special.
door gets to go places.
It doesn't move, but it travels. It gets to go to different places, and I'm jealous, you know.
Imagine like dropping some acid playing this. You'd be like, oh my god, the bench is talking to me. Just got anything to say? Sometimes you gotta complete it. It probably did and I skipped it. This is definitely a game where you're like, take your little time. A washer. Oh my god. What was that doing there? How did he see it? It's that missing washer. Washer, little tiny, usually metal circle with a hole in the middle. It's kind of usually a gap between them. Let's have to talk to soldier again.
It's rude to interrupt someone who's.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm just pretending.
He's just pretending to read. Trauma from being abandoned. Yeah, maybe.
That's some nice
I think it's just a
stuff.
kid missing his old friends
Can
and
I
moves.
see it?
I think that's a tale as old as time with the parents fighting over
That no one
stuff,
pays
probably
attention
finances.
to are the ones
So
that,
poor compared to hype and together things. It's
when you look
yeah.
closely, can
Parasocial things, right?
become fun.
Allowing someone to watch. Right, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of more. I don't know how we combat the parasocial nature. I think there's a certain level of our minds that we are drawn to that. Right. I don't think it's all bad. It's just curiosity. And as streaming and gaming and YouTube has replaced TV, we still have those old TV habits. Like, you know, people talk about being addicted to the internet. It's like, we were addicted to the TV beforehand, and then we were addicted to the radio before that as well. We used to do radio stories and operas, and they would read stories out, and it'd be like a full play, and it used to scare the life out of people. Very notable, the original War of the Worlds. Like, people ran out into the street. It was from you know, they thought there was actual alien invasion happening. It caused mass hysteria. There's actually, like, old papers that you can look up of causing mass hysteria from War of the Worlds. So trust me, you know, the human mind is not involved that much. Our technology might have. Everything's a bit faster, but we're all more glued to it. That's the only real difference in all of it. Like, most of the time, if you didn't pay your bills, the TV would go off, or, you know, your parents would switch it off and you'd go to sleep. Nowadays, it's always like, if we could sew our phones to our hands, we would, you know. It would just cut out the middleman, so we could always just look at it. That's the only danger. So we have very little downtime for our brains now. We're jacked into the matrix. Look at this. I can give him something. Can I? Look at this. Look how beautiful they are. Brooch. Red gemstone that possibly looks real. A brick. Branch. Broken piece. One of these days, I wouldn't be surprised if past the selected odds and ends, the game was like, you're not actually listening right now. And I'm not.
Where these things were and what they were doing.
I do listen. Just when you have a kind of a thought that you need to get out, I have to get it out. Otherwise, I'll forget it. Upgrade dash. The man of pajamas can dash. What? Pass odds and ends to the wandering soldier. You replenish your special weapon ammo and occasionally enhance your abilities. Cool. How do I dash? There's a dash button? I think this might be the dash. I'm just going a little bit faster. What's this supposed to be? Manhole cover. Let's go talk to this guy. Manhole.
Did you hear that too?
Who's talking to who?
I thought I heard a strange sound coming from beneath the manhole earlier.
You're the manhole.
Maybe there's a monster? It sounds scary.
Yeah, isn't it? It's funny how much we've made manholes and sewers so scary. You want me to go down there? I ain't going down there. What the hell? Something did go out of it. Creepy. Is it blood? Is it going to the wandering soldier? Whoa. Right now the music's gotten really weird now. Yeah, the beauty of dreams is they're all like left over. So most of us don't remember them, and then when you do, they're still gone within a couple of hours or a couple of days, right? Is that a mole?
Sorry for the sudden plot twist.
A sudden plot twist.
Looks like this is the end of the line for me.
That's why dream journals are so important. Right. So people like to read out their dream journals. Now, and I do believe they embellish a little bit because, as they say, like when you're recounting a memory, your brain and your eyes go to a certain place. But when you're embellishing and making something up, you're just kind of flying through it. Who doesn't want to embellish on your dreams? We all want the most fantastical dreams. Nice.
I don't even know where I am anymore.
I wish I was more like creatively gifted. I can't draw or paint to save my life. I guess it's all subjective, so it's better just to do it and see what comes. What happened to you, little buddy? Did we accidentally kill him? I will, you poor little mole. What are you doing down there? Fantastic Mr. Mole.
I think I see
Sees the light.
something.
Oh, my God. Somebody went to film school. You good? A little drool is dripping from his mouth. Ah, seems to have breathed his last. Ah, oh Jesus, I didn't do that. Oh, was that a mole? Could be dead.
It's drooling. drooling and dead.
Why? See, the fixation on the drooling part is definitely like a dream. His shirt is so bright. I thought mine was bright. Dear God, man, turn the brightness down on your shirt. Oh, there we go. Look how cool that is. These guys also made, if you remember, the Tomorrow Children. Tomorrow Children was such an interesting experiment. It didn't really go anywhere, sadly. It was a very unique art style as well. But it had this kind of a socialism thing going on, let's just say it like that. And no one, myself included, couldn't get past the fact that it felt, even just from a colour aspect, even just the way it was shot, it kind of looked like this some kind of Soviet Union thing. Yeah. But it was meant to be this kind of multiplayer project, you know, that was going to be based on a community get together. It's kind of another one of these things where it was ahead of their time. These guys are very experimental. God bless them. God bless Q Games and Baiyon. God bless them. Even if you don't believe in God, it's for Irish people, even myself, I'm not really over religious, but there's a lot of things that are left over from our childhood. But you can still appreciate and still want the well wishes behind it, even if it's not from a religious point of view. What is it? I think it's a big button or something, huh? Let's see what the next little world's all about. Look at this cherub, what the hell?
We're the mascots here. The angelic angels.
The angelic angels, as opposed to the demonic angels.
Say angel-like words of wisdom to the customers.
In reality, angels do not look like cherubs, and they don't look like white-robed, you know, blonde flowing hair. No. They are very unusual looking beings. Get back here. So yeah, my advice for a game like this, if you want, I kind of call it art really, is if you want something very different, I always speak about palette cleansers, right? And the concept of people that burn out playing games, or they're sick of this and they're sick of that, or they miss how things used to be. I'm telling you, it is indie games, indie devs that maintain the true creativity that is the art form of video games. It's still there, my friends. It really is. You just gotta take a chance. I know it's hard to take chances on things when everything costs so much, but if you believe in as an art form instead of just, you know, another Call of Duty 75, you might end up finding something that'll actually change your perspective, not only on video games, but possibly also on life as well. Bakery's loyalty card. Let's go talk to this nice man here. Kids playing one another, colored by soft smile children's. Mr. Cricket. Mr. Cricket. Let's go talk to this old man. Oh, it is a bit of a dash. It even moves when you dash. Look at that. So comforting. Do you know what it reminds me of? One of those things those kids like playing with? Zorbs, is it Zorbs? Yeah, Zorb. Zorb. Those little tiny kind of balls. There's something about it. Very comforting. I don't really get into ASMR myself, but there is some ASMR quality to this game. I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's another sense of letting yourself go, and I would have a lot of trouble with doing that, you know. I'm on the opposite scale, where there's a lot of people out there that have no self-awareness. I'm probably too self-aware and too overthinking and too self-respective. I'm always in my head thinking of things, you know. And by doing that, you're always overly aware, so it doesn't allow you to, you know, sometimes that ignorance is bliss. Like I've often said it, in some ways, some days I can actually, I'd be jealous of those kind of people, because it'd just be nice not to worry and overthink about things for a minute. It is what it is. My eyes are blurry again. Oh, hold on, we got some voice acting. Look at this poor little guy. Did you lose your wedding ring? I think I found it.
You stop being able to tell if you can see or not in the first place.
Jesus. What? No, where did it go? Come back. Look at this. Oh God. This mask to give impression of healthy Rosy complexion. Those little things you ride around on the playground. We flowers. The customers? You're not in the store. Yeah?
Why do you assume that beautifully blooming flowers are always smiling?
Oh, that's true, right? I feel like that's a Looney Tunes thing.
Just for the record,
Yeah? Are you smiling? We are.
I'm always smiling.
There we go. I don't know, I guess it's the concept, yeah, Looney Tunes and all that, or old Disney, but I guess because of something looking so bright and beautiful, we would assume that that would be a bright and beautiful emotion, right? I get fast, thanks to things like David Attenborough and all those great documentaries, that I get fascinated with things in our world, you know? Like, if you think of the concept of a flower, it is so truly alien. Alright, don't repeat yourself. It's very alien, right? You know, this is a living organism, and it's far, far more advanced than we ever could be. Like, are we the aliens on the planet? Did we evolve? And the flowers and trees and plants are far more sophisticated. Scary what they're able to do. Like, plants will, like, you know, humans we're quite, you know, we always say we're quite a versatile and strong species. Like, we will not give in or give up that easy. But plants we're not so far, you know, different from each other, because we also are like plants. We both kind of strive and break through. Like a plant, given enough time and energy, can burst through concrete. Think about that for a second. This is a flower that you can crush in your hand, a twig you can snap, you know? Look at this dude.
This is fun.
That shows you the strength, you know? And if you've ever seen, like, say, like a forest floor or an Amazon or whatever, they do like a time collapse, and you get to see how it's a race to basically the ceiling of this forest, you know? Whoever gets to the top gets the most sun, and then they almost get so thick that the sun will not reach the bottom, and then that creates a whole different race, and then you've got rotting plants. It's a whole living, breathing ecosystem, you know? Mother Nature itself is literally our lungs of the earth, but it's like we're living inside of Mother Nature, inside of her lungs, you know? So even when parts of it dies, that becomes food, and then it builds up again, and the rot that's not eaten or taken away then becomes a fungus that grows with a bacteria, and that fungus then becomes a plant, a mushroom, and it all begins again. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah, that was one I saw there. And then plants as well. Like, plants don't have the same like level of, you know, hands or the ability to get up and move like that, but it can spread around, and it also how it procreates just like we do, you know, with pollination. But it can't obviously, you know, fucking go down 10 miles that way just to find other flowers like it so it can pollinate. So what it does is it uses life, it uses us as humans, it uses insects, it uses birds, it uses whatever it can. And there's a very famous plant that blooms, big huge thing, and when it blooms, its smell is that of rotted meat. Now, how does the plant know what rotted meat smells like? Like, if you don't believe that there is a kind of a DNA, like almost the size of an atom of memory, and it passes through all of us as we breathe in and out, as we eat things and get rid of the waste, you know, that kind of way. It does, because how would the plant know? So anyway, so when it starts to bloom, it smells like rotted meat. This attracts animals, it attracts insects. So then what it does is when the insect goes to eat the plant, or goes to eat the pollen for nectar, you know, it traps them inside there, and it doesn't trap them to eat them. I know certain plants do, like Venus flytraps and other things like that, but this one doesn't trap them. It makes sure that it goes down to the very bottom, because at the bottom it has both male and female different like pollination, you know, so like seeds and pods and that. And what happens is, as the insect tries to crawl out, it has the sticky female ones that are on it, gets stuck to its body, you know, as it's crawling up, And then when the plant knows that this has happened, up to the top of the plant, the male ones start to pollinate on purpose, so that as the insect is crawling back all the way out, it has now attached itself with female ones, and at the top, the pollinating male ones then, you know, procreate with the female ones, and then the insect flies off full of all this actual like fertilized plant, and then wherever it lands, that plant now grows new and has all its little babies, and the insect is never harmed at all. It's not crazy. Like, just think, that's one plant out of millions. That's just crazy. I get so fascinated with that stuff. Give him a lighter. That's so cool. And obviously there's other ones where we know it's like cordyceps that are parasites and all this stuff. Yeah, we know that. But I'm just saying about like nature, how nature uses and manipulates the world around it is fantastic. And then like there's a lovely little story I've always loved. It was this plant. I'm not great at the names, but it was a tree with a fruit in it in Africa, right? Africa, we know a lot of the savannah and all these other places where it just doesn't grow a lot of stuff, right? So this tree is in the middle of the savannah, and it has the most venomous, thorny fruit that you have ever seen in your life. Like, even we couldn't go near. It's like prickly pears almost, you know? So nothing can eat it. Well, lo and behold, this animal comes along like nature intends, and it is the giraffe. And what does the giraffe have? It has a black tongue that has no nerve endings on it. Giraffe tongues have no nerve endings, so it can eat this fruit. And then what else does giraffes have? They have long necks for the trees, so it eats it that way. But then it has no arms, no hands that it can help itself eat. So it ends up just eating and chewing, and bits fall off it. So then the insects, the smaller animals, come along and they can now eat the fruit that has been already chewed up, kind of, you know. And then that becomes that, and then the beetles get that, and then the giraffe poops out, and then there's more. And then it's a whole, this one tree creates a whole, you know, fucking ecological factory, basically, you know. Isn't that cool? Just from a giraffe and a tree. That's like one little story. There's millions of stories like that out there. It just blows my mind. And then like the way, how many droughts and deserts Africa has, you'd be like, how the hell does nature survive? You have those trees. You ever hear the baobab trees? They absorb, during the rain season, they absorb all the water and they become fat, like 6 times the size of their normal self. And then they just live off that slowly but surely, and all the animals live off it. It's just fucking wild. Shit, only recently, because we don't have cicadas here, those really annoying, angry bugs. I didn't know this, but cicadas be peeing everywhere. Just be peeing. So a lot of people walk by and they're like, oh, it's like rain and mist. It's like, nope, that's actually... Cicadas will come out every, like, what is it, like every 7 years, every 13 years. They burrow underground and come out, and they feed off of the tree sap, and they feed off so much of it. They just drink it all day. So they have to expunge that waste. So they're still drinking the sap, and they're just peeing out more sap. But luckily, like, I think it's pretty harmless. Otherwise, people are like, run inside from the cicada pee. It's mainly like almost like a baby bird, where they don't really process it at all, you know. So they're just spraying you with little sap, really, at that point, you know. I mean, when you get down to the nitty gritty, most of the stuff people would be grossed out. Like the idea of honey itself. Honey is just bee vomit, you know. The bees take all the pollen, turn it into nectar, bring it into their little hive, and then they vomit it out. They have a special stomach sac, and they vomit it out, and it becomes honey. But it's not like our vomit, you know. It's not bile. It's an enzyme. It's a special bee enzyme, and that's what makes the honey. So, but you're going to be like, I ain't going to eat that honey, man. That's disgusting. But no, it's completely normal. It's like the idea of a cow having multiple stomachs. The bees just has an enzyme. So yeah, it's mad. Things like that are mad, aren't they? Nature is wild. We don't even begin to understand what's going on. Alright, dream guide. Sorry about that. I went off on a bit of a nature kick. I just love it. It's so fascinating. I used to watch so much of them with my father. He would always have a documentary on. You just sit down and watch it with him. And then he would, like, I wouldn't talk to him for a while, and then I would come back or ring him up or something, and we just sit there talking about nature stuff. He's like, have you seen this? Have you seen this bug? Have you seen this? And he used to just crack me up. His eyes would light up. He absolutely loved nature like that. you'd never know what the hell you'd find. And he would tell me about things, even as a grown-ass man. I'm like, I've never heard of that. And I would then turn around and tell him things and animals that he'd never heard of. It's really nice. As I said, the same thing in little humble little rural Ireland, middle of nowhere. And things like that make me glad of things like radios and TVs and that, because it has made our pursuit of knowledge. Someone's wedding ring. Am I supposed to be picking these up? Everybody's wedding ring. But yeah, he was a great lover of life, great interests. He'd sit there and watch Top Gear as much as do that as well, you know. Look at this, like a little fairground. Yeah, anyway, sorry about that. I get a little passionate about that stuff too. It's really cool. Sorry, Mr. Cricket. Frameless glasses. What are we doing right now? Trying to ball bag, yeah, right. It's very expensive. Don't grow on normal ground. Yeah. How would you grow it? And does it run the risk of becoming massive? Oh, I messed up counting change. Oh, that's cute. You're spitting out the wrong change. How about you? What are you? Sorry, Mr. Cricket. Pity it repeats itself. I suppose it's to help idiots like me. Trash can to throw away trash. Yeah, is that it?
I'll become trash too.
Oh, well, that's true, isn't it? Oh.
And there's probably a bigger trash can out there somewhere for me.
Right, and you go into the trash can. It always used to make me laugh. It's like reminds me of a thing I'm thinking of, where it's like people would use a Hoover. You get a Hoover to clean your house, but then they would use a smaller Hoover, like a Dirt Devil, to clean the Hoover, and then you would have to get a brush set to open up the Hoover and clean out the Hoover. And yeah, it was so, yeah, I don't know. These are the little minutiae of life that absolutely mean nothing really in the grand scheme of things, but if you're not being an inquisitive person out there in the world, you're missing out. Not about questioning everything, but it's definitely nice to, as I said, self-examination. It's fun. Trust me, it's fun. My favorite thing to do, I mess with a lot of streamers this way. They always look at me with a screwed up eye. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? I love to mess with the English language. I am fascinated how boring and silly and contradictory our own English language is. It just cracks me up. So I always like to put words and weird things together like that. They're always like, what do you mean? You're breaking my brain, you know? Even if it's just sounds that sound like something else. I like that. It's not coming from a smarter point of view. It's like, oh, I'm being smart with words. It's like, no, I just like, look how silly this sounds, and doesn't that sound like that? And then when they say it, it kind of breaks their brain for a second, you know? I like that. I like stuff like that. So I think what happens is we spend a good old chunk of our average 80 years on this planet, and we just go through the status quo, the norm, you know? It's like, I'm doing this because everyone's doing this. And you see that a lot in the UK and Ireland. Like, people from UK and Ireland are so happy. You'll go through tens of generations of just status quo. It's an extremely boring way to live life. Like, the most exciting thing to happen to them is, like, you know, some new product in Tesco's or something. And it's fine. Like, as I said, ignorance is bliss. If that's the way you want to choose to live your life, that's completely fine. But trust me, you will wake up one day and not realize it's happened. And you will be 50 years old and you will have done nothing. And you have to be so careful not to do that. Life is precious. You don't want to waste it. Put them try and act lovey-dovey whenever they walk me. Oh my god, there's shade coming from this dog. Maybe that means I'll get more treats. Oh. But they hate each other. I'm looking forward to today's feed. Oh. I would give anything to be able to understand what pets... I think most of the time pets would be kind of shady like that, and also extremely food-driven. I'd love to hear what animals say. It would all just be food, sex, and poop, honestly. And that's kind of the same as we... If you boil down what most humans are about, it's food, sex, and poop. It's the way it is. And sleep. Yes, sleep. Sleep.
Even if they're made of the same material.
Anyway, I'll just bring up some nice conversation. Bob very sensitive to pH ground. Oh, that's crazy. So I wonder why it grows so easily in Africa. Scotland has it. Really? Okay. pH balance. You know, the humans have to deal with that. That's interesting. And like... Ah, my life is wasted. Oh, because it's half painted. Why would a bench want to be in a relationship? You can be in a relationship with my ass. Oh yeah. So what would be the point of having a ball bag tree? Like, does it have a chance of growing like astronomically? Because we had a few trees. People love their gardening, and some people plant trees and not realizing that they are invasive or monstrosities. And like, oh my god. But yeah, it must be this. This is even meant to be a giant wedding ring. It's just really nice. Is that like? I mean, trust me, I can understand where that comes from because I really love bonsais. I know that's probably very stereotypical. I even love the concept of what they do. As much as it's me once again growing up, same as everyone else, probably watching Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid, you know. But I love that. Like I even see people with the little Zen gardens and that, and to me, when you look at something like that, it would be something I would not be into. I'm like, okay, this is very pointless, you know. It's hard for me to get into a meditative state for meditation, you know, but it's so important as well. So I do try. For me, it starts usually with a good long daydream. I'll have a daydream and I'm gone. But it's a really nice way of, it's almost like a brain flush as well. But I find it hard sometimes because just life, everything's pulling you every direction, so it's hard to meditate. You really have to just close off everything, you know, people, visitors, phone calls, just for that meditative period. But it's so important because the brain really just kind of needs a good old flush every now and then. Okay, so what do we do here? Usually kind of takes you to the next area. Yes, the flowers exist, yes. Maybe I missed one of the angels, did I? Wow. What a fun little game. I really like that it's bringing up some good conversations. You got something to say? There we go, maybe we're broken. The Cupid. Nice. Yeah, love is an interesting one, right? If you just remove all the Valentine's Day stuff, it's just very, very extreme, deep emotions. But it's something that can exist beyond time and space, right? When a loved one has passed, you still love them, you know, you still remember them, and the love is what keeps the memories alive. And then you can love a baby before it's born, right? You can even, so like it's great. It transcends time and space. It's really cool. I think it's one of the most powerful things we have as humans. We don't kind of examine it enough. We just kind of use it for life and lust, but I don't know if we examine it enough.
Is interesting. I should have saved my ring when I got.
I think I got your.
I have your. Is certainly a strange person.
Who is this Mr. Cricket? Oh, no, he's gone. He's still yapping. Mr. Cricket. I thought I was going to give him a ring. Can you talk to her? Sorry, love.
I know why my husband loves this place so much.
They're all talking like they're in the dreams, like mama, mama, mama. She couldn't care less. Damn.
At least this is a perfect sized area.
Are you like sniffing my crotch? That's all. She doesn't care about her husband at all.
Complain if they added a few more bathrooms.
More bathrooms. Is she cupping my balls? What is going on right now? So all she doesn't care about what her husband likes. She only cares about bathrooms. She must have some nervous disposition or something. Ah. But yeah, isn't it interesting? Like if you just remove that idea of love and lust and stuff, and you talk about how it transcends time like that. As much as it's kind of goofy, I do kind of think about. I do think about like DNA and memories, and love is part of that too. You know. I think long after the Earth and humans exist, I think a lot of our little memories will be out there in the universe. True love. It is a cool concept. And then if you think about it, the only thing that's as strong as love is like deep-seated hate that, you know, will take people on grudges for multiple lifetimes, or send them on massive crusades across the entire world, or, you know, if you believe in the stories of people going all the way through hell, or war against heaven, these kind of things have that kind of power. And you know, if you've ever been in love, or if you've ever had those feelings, you can believe it, right? You can believe it. that things can be, especially when you're younger, everything's so much purer. Okay. That you would believe it. Alright. These sentiments. Okay, so how does this work exactly? Do you kind of go back in and look for other stuff, or how does that work? Said I wonder, bum bum. I wonder how, I wonder why. This music kind of makes you think something bad's gonna happen. Alright. Random. So what happens now? Do you just go back in and something else happens different? This guy's having some crazy ass dreams. Materialization and abstraction. What the hell? It's like a coin now. Follow the manhole. Oh, he's like going through everything. Cool. How purple it is. The light refraction is insane. It looks so good. And that's practically purple up there. When I shoot it, it becomes blue because it's no longer out of focus. It's back again. Come here. Why yada. This will bring us deeper. Let's keep shooting. Whoa! Trying to kill me. No. Whoa. Sorry about that, buddy. So pretty. Looks so different things. History. Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, the diamonds, right? Almost send me photos every season. That's so nice. More gardening tree, apple trees that they're growing without me. Oh, that's lovely. There you go. It's basically like having a little piece of home.
What, do you want to get inside?
Blah. Miss Hunger Games, Maze Runner movies. Yeah, well, you get to still watch them, right? I don't think we'll ever have that time again. Like, I think we're talking about this new Harry Potter show being 10 years long. I think you'd be lucky to get 2 seasons out of it. And Warner Brothers have all these grand plans and they don't do the due diligence in the start. As always, this is why they keep failing. They're thinking about the end goal and the billions of dollars, and they don't think about how to get there. They don't know about subtlety and nurture. You need to nurture a movie and nurture a TV show and nurture the audience around it. They don't want that. They just see us as big old cows that they can milk. I hate those companies for that. Well, every one of those companies were better off smaller and independent. Now they got to answer to everybody, so they hire these shrewd, horrible financial managers. Ooh. Nice. Hopefully the bullets aren't too loud. Let me know if they are. I made sure to turn it down a little bit. So I knew what we were in for. I'm like, okay, this is going to be kind of using a gun as a paintbrush, basically, you know? Which is an interesting concept. I always bring it up, I don't care. I know that poor company's gone now, but Concrete Genie was a really lovely little indie game. Pixel opus. Basically a very, very stereotypical story of a young teenage boy who's just kind of trying to exist in his own little town. And he keeps running into a couple of bullies and they want him to do this thing, that thing. It's quite artistic, so they make it easy to make fun of him. I was able to create graffiti monsters that come to life and becomes the Concrete Genie, you know? It's beautiful. So the whole game is about basically your kind of a giant paintbrush. It's lovely, and you get to run around. Near the end of it, kind of spoilers about it, you get basically paintbrush shoes that you can slide around with. It's beautiful, yeah. It's like roller skates.
It's designed to be a shape humans could slide down, right?
It's designed to be a shape. Yes.
Honestly, Even I think my shape is quite peculiar.
It is, I guess, if you think about it, yeah. Like you fell over. What about you, Mr. Swing?
I'd love to be popular, but being popular just means getting worn out faster.
That's true. Is he more popular than you? That's so funny. The writing on this is hilarious. The Swings think they're more popular than each other.
Maintaining popularity must be tough.
It's like Mean Girls, Mean Swings. Pixar will come in here and steal this idea.
Children sometimes spend too much on me and get dizzy.
Oh, do you get dizzy too, merry-go-round?
But over time, I'm sure I'll turn into a good memory.
Of course you will. Everyone, that's true. They don't appreciate the merry-go-round. What do you guys? You have names for everything else, don't you? It's like we call things seesaws. You call them teeter-totters, merry-go-rounds. You guys call them like carousels or something. I don't know. Something like that. No, a carousel is more fun for. What are you doing up there? Get down. I think it just keeps moving around. Doesn't it? Whoosh. Oh yeah. Enter an infinite portion-sized plastic bottle of green tea. Why so specific? 995 milliliters. That's so specific. I guess that's kind of the random things you remember in a dream. Wee, it's so satisfying. It's almost like power washing. It's so satisfying to do that. Those games are wild. Now the new one is co-op and everything. I love video games. Dreams of another. Now the thing is that what that means? Are we inside just the dreams of another? Or is he inside someone else's dreams? I like how he's kind of stirring in the bed and then he goes back in and it's a different dream. I like that. It's clever. Yeah, I think the reason why you love those movies so much, one, they're a good blockbuster, so it's kind of empty viewing, you know, which is good. And two, because it reminds you of a time when they came out, you know. That's what it is. You actually just have nostalgic memories for that time. You do seem that kind of way. You always mention your old high school and stuff, but then you didn't want to go to see your high school reunion. It sounds like you have a lot of good memories of those times, but then a lot of bad memories. I think that's literally high school 101 right there, is the good and the bad, you know. I feel like there's nobody that's exempt from being bullied. Like even those jocks or those pretty girls and popular girls, they will get bullied later in life. As I said, the same with people who are rich as well. We will all have trials and tribulations in our lives. It's the way it is. Doesn't make any of that right, you know. There's still scumbags for doing that. But so most of them will snap out of it pretty fast and actually try and apologize. I'm making amends and all this shit. Obviously the damage is done. It depends, you know, because, you know, I think like it can get very physical from girls and boys. And that's not something you just forgive, you know. That's literal trauma. But you know, when they have their moment, all you can hope for is they learn from it fast. But yeah, karma's a bitch. So yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of good memories from when they were teenagers, and I think it's just childhood stuff, you know. It's just nostalgia, and most of, this is a big first wheel. Most of the reasoning is because there was less responsibility and there was more freedom, whereas nowadays you're probably like working real hard, or you got maybe a family of your own and you have less time, so it's just nostalgia, you know. Memories are memories, and then obviously, like, you know, times are kind of bad now, so you're like, oh, things were a bit better back then. In reality, they weren't. You know, you had 9/11, and then that created an entire generation of fear of terrorism and stuff, and then that kind of bled into horrible stuff, and then the beginnings of the school shootings and that. So times were not actually better, you know. And then that led into 2005, 2008, which was a huge, big financial downturn, which we've never actually properly crawled out of. We've learnt nothing from that. We're heading straight back into it. But yeah, so there you go. So it's just nostalgia. That's all it is. But you know, were things like games and music and movies and stuff better? Yeah. Well, in your sense, you're talking about early 2010s, but I'm kind of talking about my teens, which was early 2000s. I know the 2010s, they were pretty decent, right? Just before YouTube got really big, I think things were still normal. I think even YouTube was fine, as I said, until 2016. I think YouTube circa like 2010 to like 2013 was perfectly fine. You know, it was still all new, Warped Tour, that kind of stuff. A lot of horrible shit going on in the background. I mean, that's most people's grooming stories stems from that time, which is horrible. But you know, that was more just horrific online safety mixed with neglected parents, and none of that's changed. The parents are still neglective. They blame it on everyone else, and like, you slap your kid in front of a iPad, you know, you do nothing, and then you go on your phone. So and I've seen this. I've seen it even in my own family. Sat there in the corner having a cup of tea, and I look over, and it's like 4 hours of a child staring at a tablet while the mother is staring at their phone. It's like, that's not a life. That's not upbringing. There's nothing there. They've learned nothing. It's shocking. It's shocking. No. That's not it at all. It's okay to do that a couple hours a day or something, I guess, if you want, you know, a little bit of downtime. But dear God, it's not the kids that are iPad babies it's the parents that are fucking phoneaholics. All so they can doom scroll. Get that shit away from me as quick as possible. I doom scroll like crazy as well. I know I do. My worst habit is like late at night. Like, dude, just go to sleep. I'm like, no, I can't do it. And I go over the same shit over and over again. So trust me, I'm equally as bad, because it's not our fault. It well, you know, it's self-control, but also every one of these are all algorithm tuned, you know. You could sit there for an hour scrolling non-stop and you'll never get to the bottom of Instagram or Twitter or whatever, because they're designed that way. They don't want you to ever stop scrolling. It's disgusting. They put us, we're basically on we're a hamster on a wheel, except the wheel is the timeline and the hamster is our finger and our brain, you know. That's all it is. Bastards. If I could destroy them all like the social medias, I would. In a heartbeat. Say what you want about Twitch, but Twitch is just a window into people's lives, that's all it is. Into gaming. It can be as destructive or productive as it needs to be. Boosh!
Is there a job in existence that lets me do nothing?
Yeah.
Found something
Teen back then, yeah. Why reunion is thing, like why? I know everybody does it. It's just, if most people use it as a way to be like, look how much I've accomplished, you know. Well, he's taking all this stuff, dude. Someone's wedding ring. That's the one he's going for. Maybe it's his own.
Oh, someone's wedding ring. What kind of story could be etched into this?
Wish we didn't have to move. Where did you move from? I thought you were always in Long Island. I always get Long Beach and Long Island mixed up. I'm sorry. Dash duration. Man in pajamas. Ah, yeah, no, it's tough. You sound like you have a lot of unprocessed stuff, you know. That's pretty normal. We all do. Make sure and have a chat with your therapist about these things. It's important. This is where a lot of parents don't realize, like, how could my child have, you know, angst or rage or anger against us? And you're like, we're just doing what's best, or we just want the best. And it's like, well, that's not always the case. You're ripping. It's no different than a puppy that's been ripped away from its mom. You're ripping them away from what they know. Yeah, the high school reunion things, it's always better just to go and have fun. But yeah, people tend to use it as a stupid way of like, look at all the shit I've done. Most of the days now, none of them have a single physical thing they can show you, you know? They pull up on their little rented Lambos, but they're all crypto babies and crypto rich. And unless you pull out your wallet, your crypto wallet, like, who cares? You know? And all that's gone in a second if you just make the wrong choice. Hello, Mr. Piano. Oh, blue. Mr. PSP. getting that again. Hell yeah. Yeah, you definitely seem to be trying to go back and access all that stuff. It's good though. It's good. It's important to remember to use that, but be careful you don't get lost in it either. You know, that won't help either. You're trying to reclaim some past memories. You want to remember them, and use them, and grow from them. You can't live in the past always either. It's tough. There's a lot of. I think what it is we all kind of go through it. Usually most of us go through it under about 15 or so. You have this kind of really almost like a big bang that goes off with hormones, and you're like thrust into adulthood, you know. And life will take you that way, kicking and screaming most times, you know, whether you like it or not. And it can be very tough, so we rebel against that. It's very, very tough. Nice. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm doing stuff. Hell yeah. Alright, Mr. Piano. Oh, that's what we're doing with the piano keys. I thought I was just shooting things. Yeah, it's very... I think, like... I was talking to a friend about it, but I was like, oh God, it must have been like 2000 or 2003 or so. Basically, for me, from the ages of like 11 or 12 to 17, 18, it was just dark, angry. And that's pretty normal, as I said, like it's hormones and puberty and angst. But it's very, very dark. And I've spoken about it before, so I was never ashamed of anything. I did a lot of crappy things, but you know, you atone for it, you learn from it. Just kind of normal, you know. But I think that, as I said, it's like a little big bang going off. So you kind of have to go through it and hope that you've been given enough knowledge and lessons and humility that you can guide yourself through it, even through the hard times and dark times. It's very, very tough. It's just life, you know. Some people don't go through that until their 20s or 30s or ever, you know. I've seen grown-ass 50-year-old men and they might as well be man babies, you know. Might as well be children. They don't want to talk about things, they don't want to make up, they don't want to apologize. It's crazy. Sat there in the corner on the naughty step with their hands folded and they're 55 years old. Like, good lord. That's what happens. So trust me, if you're going through this stuff, as hard as it is, know that you're actually maturing better than most people. Talk to Mr. Piano? Now we can talk to the piano.
In the past, the old man used to come and play me when the bell rang.
When the bell rang, when the bell strikes two.
He was one of the few people I allowed to play me. I don't just let
I think those moments, like puberty and even when you're a kid, you know, like I think when you're a baby, you're just a baby, and all the way up to like you're maybe like 3 or even 4, maybe. I feel like you don't even have your own consciousness. You just kind of like sleep, eat, poop, play, cry, whatever. And then something happens. It's very hard to explain, but it's very hard to pinpoint when it happens. It's not just like when you start school, because most people don't start school until they're 5. It's before that. You just become self-aware. You get your own little stream of consciousness. Because I've seen it, like my little nephew, he's like, you know, nearly 6 now, but in the last couple of years, you can see it in their eyes, you know. They're not just looking around and being a sponge anymore. Well, they still are, but they're also like looking, you know, and you're like, oh, you can tell. So whenever that happens, so that's like that big first almost brain evolution. And then, as I said, with puberty as well, that's huge. I always call it like an internal big bang, because it's just where there was nothingness, there's everything. It's just an explosion of motion and everything else. And it's very tough when you think about it. Everybody takes it differently. And the ladies definitely have it a million times worse than we do, but we got our own shit going on as well. It's just in general. But in those moments, you think like, here's a chance for teenagers to come together and be nicer to each other, and like, nope, now's the time to rag on everything from looks to height to this to that and destroy everything, clothes, fashion, money, all that. It's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible time. All you can do is hope and pray that you make it through. Where's the bell? I have to ring the bell, you think? Gotta make it through. But it's also a beautiful time as well, because you're coming into your own, you're becoming an adult and your own person. It's kind of wild. Hindrance by humans. Don't they sound like aliens though?
I'm doing my best not to grow outward.
Don't grow outward, aw, so you won't be a hindrance.
To be honest,
That's kind of sad.
I'm free to grow upward. I worry that someone might come and trim me.
Yeah, it probably hurts if someone comes and trims you.
I can't even grow freely without worrying.
Oh, all the trees are worry warts. I don't think so. My impression of trees, as we were talking about before, they are nature personified, and they will break through the cracks of stones and rocks and concrete. Like, they're almost like a walking, talking visual of nature versus society and civilization, where they can a tiny root can break through our own concrete that we have made, like a human man-made thing. Or like, how many post-apocalyptic games have we played where, or watched, or seen in movies and that, where the first thing that happens is nature takes back everything, you know? All these little towns and stuff, and just takes it all back. And I kind of love that in a way. It can be haunting, and it's a sign of, you know, the death of humanity, but it's kind of beautiful too. Because nature always wins. And every time we try and push against her, she always wins. Mother Nature. We cannot... We should be finding ways to harness her and work with her, but we don't. Trying to abuse her. So what do we do here then? It's got to be with the kid. Maybe I don't like shooting the kid, but there you go. It's a way to talk to him. I don't know if this is meant to be a smaller version of us. I'm sensing this is more memories than dreams now. So yeah, that's kind of why you go back and watch a lot of those movies. I do the same. I have my favorites. There are moments when you're like, God, I miss those days. That's completely normal. You just have to be aware of those emotions and know that it's just, you know, good days and bad days. You don't want to get lost in it, because you'll never go forward then. Then you will end up like a little 40-year-old kid, 40-year-old virgin, here in this platform. Yeah. I'm usually quiet. Just think handheld devices are too pricey. Yeah, but I don't mean like that. Woo! Not about the price of them, it's about that we're addicted to them. Woo! I don't think you're that quiet at all, usually. You get in your little hyper moments. That's when people usually pick on you. They're like, why are you being so hyper? The, what do they call it? The squeaky oil. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, and then it's like, the nail that sticks out gets hammered. You see? So that's kind of what it is. But in the world we live in and everything we've seen, nerdy people or weird people get such picked on it, you know, 10, 20 years ago. I think these days we're a lot more open and we try and visualize that weird and different can be good. But now we're going back again where it's like, now it's just different skin color equals bad. So I don't know. I can't stand how close society gets to actually making a change and doing something great. Because once something cool happens and we can become the status quo and become the new normal, then we can move forward as a society. But we keep getting pulled back by fucking morons, you know. Like, no, we might as well be back in the 1950s all over again. That's honest to God the way it is. Like, I'm waiting for the fucking segregation buses to show up again. That's what's going on. And we need to stop that. We need to stamp that shit out as quick as possible. Because there will come a time when you or your loved ones will need help. And you will have turned everyone away from every other country. But people don't see that. They're still like, oh, now look, that's why they don't help us. That's why we don't help them. It's like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how the world works. It's always those same fucking narcissists that will call upon others, why others are messing with them when they've already destroyed so much. Fuck all that mess. Okay. You talk to this guy again? I want to go into the server.
Bring something again.
Let him choose himself. What's he gonna take from me now? Yeah, you did that at someone's wedding night. I must have missed something, though.
It may look like nothing from today. Oh, and I also forgot. I won't be using.
He's gonna give me grenades.
Because I can't.
Thank you. Special weapons.
Have them if you want.
I got grenades. Where should I use them on? fire in the hole. Whoa! Wow, that was cool. It looks like it. Maybe you can destroy these footprints. Maybe. I got grenades.
It's hard to work the night shift in the outdoors.
Enter. There we go. I wasted all the grenades. That's what I wanted. Remember when I had braces that kind of affect my social a bit? Like glasses, get it off glasses to concentrate. Yeah, you're poor unfortunate. You had everything going for you. Every stereotypical kind of nerdy thing. But look at people now. They would do anything for braces. Honestly, braces are weirdly back in now. There's the little mole. Fortunately, a lot of the ladies getting the braces, they do it for, let's just say, a certain sexual gratification. There we go. Which is kind of mad, you know. You used to think of braces and used to call people braced face and all that. That was always a strange one to me. I think it was a jealousy thing. It's like, oh, your parents have enough money to get braces or straighten your teeth or whatever. Then others would just make fun of it. So strange. But now they like to look at them.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. What happened? Like, someone had to have killed that little dude. Hello. This is very fantastic, Mr. Fun. It's my turn.
I'm ready to go up.
So cute.
The humans be suspicious.
Remember that dream we had about a family of moles? Look at this cute little guy.
Which mole decided that we have to be independent?
Independent moles.
Enjoy my freedom here at home.
That's right.
But I think the freedom my mom keeps telling me about is somewhat different. To be honest, I'm not really interested.
No, he wants to stay at home. Don't they look like little jelly beans or something? Whoosh! They do such a good job with the depth of field as well. I'm supposed to do something down here? To this thing here? Inspect. The eldest mole, here he rests, at one with the underground. Whoops, there we go. Dude, they're climbing up here and then falling and dying. Is he fighting? Maybe I have to follow him? Looks like he's fighting. Yeah, I think I gotta follow him. No, it's the end of this scenario. I think this guy must have eaten a whole lot of weird mushrooms or cheese or something. They used to say cheese gave you weird nightmares and dreams. Or sentiments.
I'm longing for a door that's a little older and makes a nice squeaky sound when you open it.
There are lots of creatures living near us benches. When humans
Going back at Need for Speed. I wonder will we have more Need for Speed in the future. Oh yes. Let's keep going with this. I'm intrigued. It's bringing out some nice conversation. Dreams of Another. Yeah, I think that other game I played, Gloomy Eyes, was also VR, and they re-released it as a controller. That's honestly the best thing I could say, because this game in VR must be a trip, must be gorgeous. But then to miss out on it, you know, it's like anything else. I think the same thing will happen with the wider scale of this handheld stuff, you know. I mean, handhelds will do very well, and probably all told, all of them between them, you know, will probably have like 30 million units or something. And a lot of devs will consider that good enough of a platform. Maybe 50 million, I don't know, between them all. But in the long term, we've just kind of splitting everything up. The quicker we can move on from those old consoles as well. If we just have the, you know, the Xbox Series X, the PS5, and the Switch 2, the Steam Deck and Steam, that would be enough, you know. That really would be enough. That's not where we are. There's so much And they're already talking about the PS6, you know? PS6, 2027, 2028. And I hear people going, you know, that's it, I'm buying myself a PS5. I'm like, it's done. It's over. It would be, whoever this Mr. Cricket guy is, that would be a great waste of money. Great waste of money anyway. But even the PS5 Pro, like, oh my lord. I just want some freaking games to play, you know. Thank God for indie devs. Then there's almost too many indie games. I can't give them all the time and love I want, and I really do want to. I'll keep trying. Oh, this is the Ferris wheel from earlier. Let's see, can we ride this? So pretty. Like, if this is how painting was, it's almost like painting but with a paint gun. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, I think this, people still want to blame COVID. Like, it did hurt a little bit, but come on now. They're like, oh, this whole, people were trying to say this whole generation is a write-off just because of COVID, and like that. It's foolishness. All that's wrong is there's not proper care being put into them. Because if you want to say the market leader is Sony, what has Sony done lately? Like, something like this game is amazing, but this is with no collaboration with Sony and probably no proper marketing or anything. And they used to be so switched on. They've gone completely asleep in their horrible journey of trying to make a Fortnite of their own. Every time Sony chases after the other guy, they fail. They spent years with Killzone. Instead of just letting Killzone stand on its own, they had to keep calling it a dumbass Halo killer, and it didn't do anything. Halo ends up killing itself. Now they said that there's less people playing Destiny 2 than there was before they were bought by Sony. So, you know, writings on the wall and all that, but that's another series that it just outlived itself. It's fine, you know. They should have, not only should they have Marathon coming up, they should have Destiny 3 ready to go, and they should have another series as well. And keep it going. Live service will be the death of all of us. Games were meant to survive that long. We wouldn't need to make any new ones, would we? What the hell's going on here? Are you dancing?
Your innocent actions always
Almost looks like the little angel is on people's shoulder.
But just because I'm smiling, it doesn't necessarily mean
My heart is... Oh, that's so sad. That's so true. I kind of feel like that some days. I smile and people put a smile on my face and make me laugh, but you're just kind of dying inside slowly. It sucks. It's just kind of eternal battles with everything else. Let's see what this guy has to say. He's singing and dancing. What are you doing?
You're looking great.
What are you doing?
Try playing the trumpet. Bring something again.
Yes. Let him choose himself because he seems to look masked. He's always picking the red one.
Something dropped on the streets could take on a new meaning when picked up like this.
You just gave me ammo, did he? Can I go up the Ferris wheel? Looks like when you move away, must be their rendering target. Everything starts to go back to kind of mush, you see? Or it just could be the way the dream is, where, do you ever notice, like, in a dream, you very rarely can see, you know, out into the distance or outside of your peripheral vision. A lot of my dreams are from, like, a third-person perspective. Does anyone else feel that? Maybe it's just me. I feel like I'm watching a movie sometimes. What's wrong? Oh, the Ferris wheel's getting old. Is the Ferris wheel got rheumatism?
This isn't going to work. So someone please do something.
Oh. I would feel so bad if objects had sentience, because we use and abuse. Whoa. We use and abuse. Are we gonna, it's like a boss? Ferris wheel. It's gonna start rolling around or something. Oh my god. It's gonna fall. Jeez, yeah, it's like that big wheel. Dave, take that. Take a grenade. Here he is. Come back here. Got the noise it makes. The music. Go, go, go. It's gonna come back here. I got a bad feeling it's gonna squish on me. Gotta try and hit the seats, I think. I think they're in the way, are they? Yeah. Nice, got one. Go, go, go. Looks like I can't hit it through there. No, what's he doing? No, I can't hit those. Weird. Come back here. Is he like spewing poison or fire or something? Anyway, you can't really shoot them through that. It's working. I swear I'm getting somewhere. Once it makes that noise, I'm not doing anything. Can I hit these ones? It's not a distance thing, it's just stuck. Was it like the last two? Come on, mate. There's one over there. I knew there was one somewhere. I'll fall through the cracks. Bring that ass over here. Oh, yeah, the floor, no. It's stuck outside the fence. Come on. Get back here. I can hit him like that. Yeah. Looks like I was gonna fall through the floor. It's like negative energy and he gets back into his little soul. I couldn't tell you what the hell's going on. But it's bringing up some nice topics. It's dreams for you. It's all just interpretation.
Thank you. I'm on my way, everyone.
Whee! Are those more piano keys? Oh. It's like we're rebuilding the ring or something. Wait. The bomb, the ring. Help is on the way, dearie. Doesn't seem to move anymore. No. I never got to have my go, and now we're finished. I really love that. It's really cool. I've seen some games make fantastic work with voxels. Like, remember that Generation Zero and Ravenlock and that? They make wonderful games. There's a lot of those coming up as well. A lot of third-person kind of adventure games. There's ones like based with the Kingdom Hearts as well. Now we're underwater. So pretty. Any of this you could just like screenshot. It's gorgeous. Almost looks like sequencing, doesn't it? You know that clothes where they have little sequence circles on top of each other? The ladies love that stuff. It's like a weird trend over here a couple of years back with the pennies and that, where you'd have a picture made out of sequins and you'd move them up and it'd be another picture and move them down. They were fascinated with that shit. Spend all day. They end up being more like a tism toy than anything.
We were soothed by the sounds of the water.
Fidget toy. It's cute.
Close to both nature and our homes. But most importantly,
I used to be pretty decent at skipping stones. You go out fishing as much, you have to, when you're a kid, you know, you come up with your own little games. Wonder where the first stone skipping came from, because that's another one of those strange little habits and pastimes that absolutely no way of tracing it back. Oh look, now we're the soldier again. The fact that it stemmed from that.
What should we play today? There's nothing to do here.
Pitch doesn't want to be here.
What should we play? There's nothing to do here.
Oh, there's a little cat or a dog or something. Hello. My stuff's probably blocking that. Cute.
We found a cat. It seemed it was a stray, left to wander the riverbank. The lack of food left it.
Look at that. Like, you can clearly tell he has little blue eyes, but it's not distinguishable.
Its eyes was slightly off,
so cool.
as if it had an illness.
Oh, cats always have that crud in their eyes. My mother loves stray cats. She puts tea bags in them. Something in the tea leaves works as like a weird antibiotic or something. I don't know. Seems to work.
Are you hungry?
Just imagine a whole lot of stray cats walking around with tea bags in their eyes.
We began bringing it food and milk from our homes.
Oh, it'll come back.
We weren't allowed to keep pets in our household.
Yeah, it's the perfect example I was saying earlier about how the brain is able. There's a word for it, of course, and I'm not smart enough to remember. Of where if you have the right first letter and last letter and jumble around the middle letters, our brain will discern what actually is going on. And the same thing works with our eyes here with art, you know. We really can. Our brain is the most powerful thing in the universe, I think, is our own brain. Whether we use it for good or shite. Is it what in the hell? Why is he doing Gangnam Style? Whoop, whoop. Oh, okay.
Having never owned pets, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, God bless animals. I don't think humanity would have survived for as long as it has if it wasn't for animals and pets, you know. And I don't just mean as a food source. I mean as literally part of the human condition.
Began to love the cat.
Oh, they've saved us all in their own little ways.
We enjoyed our days spending time with this cat.
Yes. This guy, does he own it?
One day, when the three of us were walking along the riverbank.
Three? Oh, the cat. Three of us.
The cat was walking ahead of us. Upon seeing the cat, an unknown man coming from the opposite direction picked it up and began petting it.
See what I'm saying? These feel like memories rather than dreams.
I stood somewhat frustrated.
No. I'm gonna try and take it back home. He could be the original owner. Maybe it's not stray.
Are you taking care of it here? It's sick. So I'm going to take it to the vet, and I'll keep it at my house from now on.
No.
It can't be living out here like this anyways.
That's their cat.
Yeah, I know. I'm a kid. And I can't even have pets at home. I wouldn't be able to convince my parents. My friend spoke up.
Wouldn't it be happier for it to be with him? We can't keep it, so it'd be stuck here by the river forever, and it's sick. Something seems to be wrong with one of its eyes as well. It'll be hard, but let's see it off with a smile, okay?
Oh, who the fuck says that?
That's how it's supposed to be, I thought. Even if we continued to care for it.
He's having a little
unprocessed
trauma of a little cat he misses.
And it would be dangerous if the river ever flooded. But
True.
at the same time, I felt something indescribable. Why could the man care for the cat, but I couldn't? He was
responsibility.
The power he had was so far away from my own that I felt helpless.
He should let you visit it, but you can't trust that man.
The cat was definitely going to be happier with him, but it was also true that I felt as if my own treasure was being taken away.
No. Treasure?
If I were an adult, I would have claimed it as my own and brought it home too. Is it because I'm a kid? Or is it because I don't possess that privilege as a person to begin with?
No.
Did the cat have fun at all playing with us? I can never protect the things I care about.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Maybe it's because I'm only thinking about myself that things turn out this way. As I became dejected over my own inadequacy,
Duh.
I whimpered.
You're just a kid. That's a lot of high thinking for a kid. Dejected from my own inadequacy. Oh. You're good enough for a cat. It's okay. Just the way things have to be. Sometimes they'll have community cats and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. Some of it does seem to be dreams. Now he looks a bit sadder. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, there seem to be dreams, or are they memories? Very interesting, this one. Dreams of another. There's definitely a good bit to do with there, you know. And I'll give them that. There's a little sense of agency, which is nice, you know. I always speak about games needing a sense of agency. Like this definitely is an art piece. There's no doubt about it. But it's given some great, you know, mind juices flowing and getting your conversations going. Give it a shot and see what you think, you know. We'll play some more of this. Dreams of Another.